I'm Shane Manning with Thunder Promotions. I'm sitting here with
RYEDEN.
from Dallas, Texas. All right, guys, let's go around and introduce everybody in your role in the band. Let's start with you, Porter.
I am Porter Davis, and I do lead vocals and lead and rhythm guitars for RYEDEN.
I'm Scott Smith, and I do drums. I play the drums.
I'm Patrick, and I play guitar, lead.
And we got Caleb Ritchie, who is currently taking care of some business, and he is bass.
All right, very cool. So let's talk about the invention of RYEDEN. Where did it come from?
Scott.
Well, that came from me and him. We met in an AC/DC cover band, and then at some point, the real band got started in 2013. After we came out of a Metallica cover band, at some point we met this guy, and just after he did the rehearsal, we decided let's see how the live show goes, and he played it, and he just ripped, and just fire and electricity going everywhere, and I just kind of figured out like this is the guy, and then the rest is history.
So, Porter, let's talk about you joining the band, and let's talk about why you were interested in this particular band.
Well, when I joined RYEDEN, I was music since I think 2011 was always something I wanted to do, and me and my friends beforehand, like some guys that we were friends with, and our old guitar player Tyler being one of them, we always wanted to like do music stuff and whatnot, and we got together with a bunch of friends and like banged around on instruments for like 2 years in a garage, thinking that we were making music, when in all reality we were just a bunch of kids not knowing what we were doing. But eventually I wanted something more, so I knew this guy through high school, because we went to the same high school, and figured, he asked me like 3 times to join his band beforehand, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, man, maybe. And then so I just decided, you know what, why not? So joined RYEDEN, I think it was like May 2014, because I was really looking for something to like make my own and finally get into music, because just banging around in the garage wasn't really doing anything for me. So I decided go audition with them. Blew the audition, but they hired me anyway. But once they got me on board, got another guitar player in, and then pretty much just rehearsed and planned from that point out, and tried to like synchronize and get together. And then we made our DFW debut, what I consider our official heading into the scene, in October 2014. We've just been working at it ever since.
I think that's about the same time that you and I became acquainted, and we started talking. And you've been a driving force behind the band. Not taking away from anybody else in the band, but Porter has really come to me and said, "Hey, I think we're worth it, and I think you need to promote us." And I did. I did there for a long time, and continue to do so. All right. So anyway, let's talk about your music. I know that you have a short EP out, released sometime last year.
It was December 2014, right before New Year's, right after Christmas.
Yeah, 2 days after Christmas.
So let's talk about that EP.
Oh boy. That EP, to my knowledge, half the songs that are on there, I think that would be Omega Dragon, Sons of the Horsemen, and Shadows, are all older songs. And once I get like the gist of it down, I'll let him go into the details, because he knows more about that than I do. But 5 original songs, primarily written by these guys, because they had these written before I was even in RYEDEN. It was like right around I came in is when we started the recording process, but they had already had these songs for a while. And we if you're familiar with School of Rock at all, the organization, that's what we were with for a little bit, just to kind of like get ourselves going for rehearsal space, advice, all that. Right. And so we recorded that little EP on an iMac computer in one of those rooms by ourselves with one of our teachers. His name was Andrew, awesome guy, and worked on that for a couple months. and I will let Scott go into the details of that music because he knows more about it than I do.
Well, again, me and him just came out of a Metallica, Guns N' Roses cover band. So for Omega Dragon, Horseman, and Shadows, those were primarily the influence of Hetfield's picking and everything else. Like the song structure is very Metallica influenced. And those 3 songs in particular were actually done by another teacher. His name is Ray, really funny guy. And he kind of helped us on the Metallica cover band, and he kind of knew a lot more about songwriting and structure than we did, and we learned a lot from him. As far as I want to say, like, the riffing goes, I was thinking that I was doing something different, but it turned out it felt really recycled after that. Not trying to take away from those songs, but because I'm still proud of them.
Right.
But it was just kind of a start.
Right. Exactly.
Pat, you got anything you want to say about those?
Not really.
Okay, cool. Well, recently, Porter introduced me to Heads Shall Roll, the new single. And those of you that don't know, Porter and I, we go way back. And I got a first listen at Heads Shall Roll, which I'm very thankful. Thank you very much for that.
My pleasure.
When I first heard that song, I was driving home from a meeting, and just the riffs, the vocals alone, the drums, the bass lines, reminded me so much of Randy Blythe, the Lamb of God, type of sound, which is good. So let's talk about Head Shall Roll and where it came from.
Head Shall Roll was originally written around July 2014. That's when we started working on it. It was written by Tyler, who was our guitar player. Miss that dude. But yeah, the song was written by him, and just happened to be one of those things. He was pissed off at something, so he went into the garage and he just started messing on his guitar, and then he ended up making the opening riff, that and then he just kind of built it on from there. And then, of course, over time, we kind of like added some different parts to it and structure and whatnot, just to make the song fit a little bit better. And that song originally, we started working on it. We weren't really too concerned about it when it first came about, because we were still focused on making our EP a thing, just to get some music and stuff out there. But we kind of had that set to the side and focused on the EP first. And then around winter time, we started working more on that song because the EP was coming out, all was good, so it was time to start progressing and do something bigger, better, and heavier. So we started working on that song, and then we got it complete sometime around January, and then we were just starting to tighten it down at that point. And then right after that, we kind of just used it as like something, as like an instrumental for a while, just to build during our sets and give it a little more set time. And the idea when the song was written was something different, because Tyler and I always were proud of our songs. They're like, they're our songs, so we're always going to like them and have some sort of thing for them, because, they're our songs. We worked on them, we put our hearts and souls into it, but we wanted something that was kind of new, different, not exactly like the obvious elements is in our 5 other songs. So we worked on that, and then right around January, that's when Tyler made his leave. And so then we just started putting it into the set as an instrumental, and we didn't really work too much on it because we still wanted to get our set like in sync and tightened up and all good and whatnot. Not to mention Caleb had joined around that point, so we wanted to get all 4 of the members as locked in as we could for the songs we're playing on stage, our 5-song EP. And Heads, we decided the time was right to record it in late May and then have it ready at the beginning of the summertime. June 12th, I think we released it. We went in, I think, May 30th with a guy named Austin Schaffer. He's a really cool dude.
We like Austin Schaffer.
Yeah, Austin Schaffer. Shout out to you, buddy. Yeah, he did an awesome job with us. Went over to his house. It was basically like hanging out with an old friend. We hung out, made jokes, and then recorded a really cool song, and I think that we did a really good job of it. I'm proud of it. I know I love it. Everyone I've talked to, they really dig the song. They're like, you need to make more stuff like that. And I'm just like, well, just you wait. There's a lot more to come, more than just heads. Lots more.
Well, and that being said, you know, I don't like to compare bands, and I don't do that, but I do know that RYEDEN has established with the song "Head Shall Roll" their signature.
Right.
Like I told you before, that song is your signature.
It's like Slayer's "Raining Blood."
Pretty much.
It's like a
Yeah.
staplement kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. So, okay, well, let's go on and talk about influences. What are some of your influences as far as vocalists and musicians?
Oh man, there's so many. I want to say probably my primary one. I don't know if it's obvious or not, but "Bullet for My Valentine" is my jam. That Matt Tuck has really kind of like put an influence on me really vocally, because that's where I get like most of my scream, and even like some of my guitar playing, because like his down picking and his tremolo picking and all that, rhythm playing, really good rhythm player. Tyler got me into them like around when I was like 15, and that's kind of like what the primary thing has been since then. But besides them, I've got so many. I mean, Five Finger Death Punch is another big one. The first band I ever really got into to get me into rock music and whatnot was Kiss.
Right.
A lot of bands are like that. Kiss was my first thing. Really everything. I mean, like everything influences me. Music is an art, so
Right.
music just influences me. Any kind of music, I'll try to take whatever I can from it and say like hip hop, country, rap, metal, anything. Like I take anything I can get from something. Music's beautiful. It's a good art, so I get influenced by everything.
It's a language that you can't teach.
Right.
Pretty much.
But yeah, Bullet for My Valentine, Five Finger Death Punch, anything hard, heavy, melodic, and then obviously Pantera, Metallica stuff too, but all that.
All right, Scott, let's talk about your influences.
Well, my favorite band of all time is going to be Judas Priest.
Right.
That's a given. Obviously Pantera, Slayer, Megadeth, a little bit of Children of Bodom, a little bit of Avenged Sevenfold here and there, just sprinkle it right there. Maybe a little bit of King Diamond on the side. But yeah, as far as my instrument goes, my three main influences are Scott Travis from Priest, the guy who does Painkiller, Vinnie Paul from Pantera, and Mike Portnoy of former Dream Theater.
Right.
It's just like one of those things where I was never into blast beats. Like I can do blast beats and grind beats, but it just like I didn't feel a whole lot of groove in it, and I couldn't find a whole lot of groove in it. Only on certain parts can I do it and find that it fits there in our music really well. So I'm not too big on blast beats. Not trying to bash on them because I think they're good, but I'm just more groove centered because I feel like it moves people.
Right.
Straightforward drummer.
Right, exactly. All right, Patrick, what about some of your influences?
Well, some of the people that got me to play guitar were Randy Rhoads, Dimebag Darrell. Listen to has kind of been an influence on my soloing as well as Jeff Hammond and Kerry King. And Chuck Schuldiner from Deaf is somewhat of a minor influence.
Very cool. All right. So let's talk about where we can find RYEDEN on the interwebs.
Just about anywhere you look, really. I mean, you name it, we got it. We got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, Reverb Nation, Bandcamp. I don't know if I said SoundCloud already, but we got everything. I mean, we got cats, dogs, whatever. Like you name it, we got it. Honestly, like we try to establish ourselves as much as we can, but Facebook is like our base. That's kind of where we keep everything at.
Yeah, HQ.
Yeah, that's kind of where we keep. That's kind of where it's easiest to like get
Right.
to see and get everything. And we're working. Of course, we're always looking to expand. We're trying to get, like you said, on local radio stations. We got played on Q102 for about a month before Spicoli had to make his leave. Awesome dude too.
Yeah.
And some other ones here and there. We're looking to expand on iTunes, and we get asked sometimes like, yo, we're making a collaboration of local music. Do you want to get onto this? So really, like, if you just look for it, we're there. Like, you just Google RYEDEN on the internet, something will pop up. I do it sometimes just to amuse myself, just to be like, I wonder if someone's posted something crazy on here. But yeah, like, you just look for us, we're there.
Right. So let's talk about some of the venues that you've played at here locally.
Oh man. Venues, we've done just about all of them. We've done, when we were still in the School of Rock stuff, I know they've done some stuff. What did y'all do in School of Rock?
We basically played at a bar that used to be a gas station called the Bronson Rock.
Yeah, Bronson Rock.
Remember that one? What else did you guys do? I think Haley's was one of them.
Yeah, Haley's we did that a lot. That's where we did it at the AC/DC cover band, and also the metal show that soon followed after that.
And once we started getting on our own wings, and we played our first ever show, remember the date and everything, it was October 17th, 2014 at RBC in Deep Ellum. I love that place. We've played there, I think we've played RBC 3 times, we've done Wits End twice, Deep Ellum, we've done the Curtain Club once, we've done the Boiler Room twice.
We've done the Rail Club for like 3
We've
times.
done the Rail Club 3 times. We're playing there on Thursday.
So you've got a show coming up on Thursday.
And we played the Rail, I think, twice, maybe 3 times. We've done Tomcats once. We've done a few house parties here and there.
I think we also played at a gig in downtown Fort Worth that one time.
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah. No, he's talking about Queen City Music Hall.
Oh, Queen City.
Oh,
Yeah.
you played Queens. All right, nice.
Is that place still open?
I'm
I
pretty
think so.
sure.
Yeah.
I love that place.
Well, pretty much the only place we have.
We played the House of Blues. The
Oh
House
my
of
God.
Blues.
Oh my God. We shall not speak of the dark
No,
times.
we're going to. When we were in School of Rock, dude, they had this deal going on where, like, there were, like, I think, like, all the School of Rocks in DFW were doing something at the House of Blues, and they had the main stage where, like, all the big guys play. They had that bar upstairs, and then they had some, like, really weird Persian Egyptian freaking room that was, like, covered in Buddha statues and...
It was the foundation.
Oh my God!
It was the foundation room.
It was hot as.
And as most people know, the House of Blues' foundation room is not meant for gigging. It is meant for socializing and mingling and talking to people.
Not
meeting new
only
people.
does that room look so weird, but it was hot
Just-
as hell
just
up in there.
carpeted everywhere and just a not a
But
very
the
good
best
place.
part was it was on a Sunday at like 7 o'clock in Dallas, and this is the winter time, so it's like pitch black. And I didn't know my way around Dallas that well, so when we were leaving, we didn't get home until like 1 in the morning on Sunday.
geez.
I mean, on Monday morning, and when we played, it was just awful. Sound guy there, this was the best part. Sound guy there had a board like that big that he was mixing all the sound through, and he was just like just chilling there, and he was like texting on his phone, and excuse me, and he was just texting on his phone and whatnot. And then like halfway through our set, my microphone comes unplugged, and so I'm just singing like bare bones. You can still kind of hear me. And then eventually, some guy that's like sitting in the back, he's like,
Yeah,
walks
Joe,
up to the sound guy, and he's like, "Hey, you see that kid's mic's unplugged, right?" And he's like, "Oh."
yeah, Joe Demerit.
He goes up there and he plugs it in, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, thanks. Never would have known."
Yeah, Joe Demerit pointed that out.
That was
Really
ridiculous.
cool guy.
That was a night to remember, I tell you.
So
Yeah.
let's.
I remember him.
Pretty much the only place that we haven't played is Trees.
We haven't done Trees. We haven't done the Liquid Lounge. We haven't. I don't know. We're gonna do it all. DFW domination. Oh yeah, and Diamond Gems. We did Diamond Gems. I think you got us that
Yeah,
one.
I think I got you.
The only time we ever played as a full band.
Yeah.
We had Tyler, Caleb, me, him, all
Speaking
of
of,
us.
we want to get a shout out to Tyler.
Love you, bro.
Thanks, man.
All right. So let's talk about the direction of RYEDEN. Where do you see yourselves in the future?
World domination, man. We're gonna do the best we can. I mean, we want it all. We want we want tour buses, interviews, sold out shows. We want to take the craft that we really love and then, do what everyone else does. I think that's what everyone wants. They just don't want to admit it because they don't want to sound like conceited and stuff, but I am kind of conceited, so I will.
No!
I will.
Really?
I will say that. I mean, I know as a fact that we want it all. We want of course, we don't want to like say, we want to be like rich and famous and dirty and whatever. We want to do the best we can.
Right.
We're gonna
And
be Led Zeppelin.
we want to do the best we can and leave whatever legacy we can and be sure that we're the biggest we can get. But it'd be nice to be a touring band and not have to worry about it and make a living and
Right, exactly.
and of course the most important thing besides living and having fun is that your fans enjoying your music. Because I know me personally, we only have like a small following, like a couple handfuls of people. But if someone tells me that like, oh man, your music's really good or your music sucks, like I take that to heart.
Yeah.
If someone really enjoys my music, then that it amazes even myself how that can even make me smile throughout like an entire day.
Yeah, if somebody likes it, cool. If they don't like it,
Oh well, but yeah, that's the goal, is to hopefully be the next big thing.
Well, I will say that you guys have been working really hard from what I can see.
Thank you.
You're out there. You're getting the exposure. You're working hard at making a brand, if you will. And like you say, you have a small following, but as well as I do, that will grow. The more you're out there, the harder you work, that following will grow. And it's a scary business to get into.
Oh yeah, we've already been in some spots before. We're only local, and it's already kind of dirty and
you only
dark.
you only get a taste of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
pretty
it-
fun right now.
But you guys work hard and persevere. So, all right, we're gonna conclude this interview. I'm gonna wait to do another one.
Alright.
I'm gonna wait to do another one when your second EP or album comes out. We'll do another one. Do a follow up. I thank you guys for this opportunity to let me sit down and talk with you guys.
Oh, it's our pleasure. We're looking forward to
All
it.
right.
Thanks.
I know it's been a while, but we finally did it. We got
Yeah.
it done. So, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
All right.
We
Of
appreciate
course.
it.